Hi, there is a lot that's been going on my mind for years and years and years, and I've finally come to a point of my life where I feel ready to share this information. Because as a woman, I think I have reached the peak of what I could tolerate, what I could accept of BS from this world. And I'm finally ready to explain what I've understood, what to me always seemed so obvious. I'm making this video from an open heart, and I really hope this is going to reach the right people that will truly make the effort to understand what I'm saying, put in the right energy in this container, and hopefully contribute to better this world, raise the vibration, raise the energy, and put an end to this beyond chaotic situation. So this is what I want to talk about. I've never understood how, as a society, we've been excusing men's behavior. They are constantly making women uncomfortable, behaving in a way that most of the time completely unacceptable. How it's been completely normalized in society, it's always blown my mind. From the earliest age, I've always been like, why are they behaving like this? Something isn't right. I don't think it is normal to behave like that. I was always finding it crazy how people seem to just be okay with it. They're boys, they're men, that's just how it is. In my previous video, I explained that just like robots, we've been just injected beliefs about the way things are and how things should be, especially when it comes to men and their behavior. We've been injected the belief that they just have this special relationship with sex, that's just the way it is, they're born like this, and they can behave the way they want, they can make everybody uncomfortable with their needs, overwhelm society with this. This is a programming. This is already something that I've talked about in my previous video. I highly encourage you to watch it. But more importantly, I want to talk to you about what happened to them, because they have definitely been targeted by whatever this is that is spreading chaos on earth, danger, war. It is using men as a vessel to do that. Another topic for another day. Here's my take on what happened to men. From the earliest age, as we know, they are injected, the belief that they want sex all the time. So they are made addicted before they even know it. They are told that it is totally normal, and we can see it in society how normalized it is, and how they are pushed, encouraged, almost forced, as opposed to how it is considered for women. We already know that. I don't even need to go over that. They are basically told that the slightest urge that they feel in their body, they have to do something about it. I don't know if you realize, it's like telling someone from the earliest age, from their arrival on earth, through their journey, to educate them, eating every time they feel slightly hungry. That's basically what they're told to do, to consume sex all the time, whenever just the thought of it is crossing their mind. I don't know if you even realize how toxic this is, how unhealthy this is. Just from a health point of view, this is extremely toxic. They are basically encouraged, even forced, even pushed to consume sex all the time. Every single time they are feeling just the slightest urge to do so. There's that, first of all, on one hand. And just to push that a little bit, just imagine if you had to transpose this with food and consumption of food. You would be a person with morbid obesity, in a very critical state, if you were told from the earliest age to consume, and not just consume anything you see, anything you can, whenever you see, whatever it is. It doesn't matter the quality, it doesn't matter if it's healthy or not, if it's toxic, if you're allergic to it, it doesn't matter. If you like it, it doesn't matter. If it tastes good, if you actually enjoy it, it doesn't matter. But you just have to eat it all the time. Basically, how they are educated, how they are conditioned, I prefer, to consume sex. So the very first thing that strikes me is that it is so damaging. I feel more sad more than anything else, because it is something that's been inflicted to them, in my opinion. Acknowledging it is the beginning of change. And acknowledging it is not justifying it. It is not the same thing. So yeah, basically, in my opinion, they are in a critical state, spiritually and health-wise. It is catastrophic. No one should ever be consuming anything like that. This is obviously unhealthy, and I don't even know how you're not dead. Honestly, you can act surprised that you feel depressed and struggle with dark thoughts when you consume something like that. From porn to having sex with anyone all the time, and this is something that's totally normal. Being encouraged to exist like this. Being like this is one thing, but being conditioned in a mold to behave like this, to be told be like this. It is totally normal. It's literally like growing up around people who all are morbid, obese, and unaware because they've never seen anything healthy. They don't know there is a way to eat that is healthy. They don't know that they have a lot of disease. They don't even know that. They don't know that the reason why they sleep all the time or they feel depressed or want to die is because they are eating a lot of things that are killing them from the inside. They don't know that a lot of things that they are eating, they are allergic to it. They are not even aware of that. They were never told any of this. They were never told how to consume, to understand who they are, to know what actually works for their body and not just consume anything you see. But they've never seen that. And everyone around them, like everybody around them, have the same problems as them, but all of it is considered normal. Everyone is overly consuming food, eating from a burger to a salad, whatever you find, healthy, unhealthy, whatever it is, you don't even see the difference. You can even tell what's healthy, what's not. You can literally go from quality food to the shittiest kind of food, and you don't even know, you can even tell the difference. You don't even realize you don't like it. You don't even realize when you actually enjoyed it. You don't know any of this. And everyone around you is behaving the same. No one is telling you that you are sick. Some are dying, but nobody really knows why. Everyone thinks all of it is totally normal. Well, that's exactly how men exist and the dynamic they have with sex in this world. It is the same. It is that chaotic. The first thing is that they are made addicted. And what is considered normal in this society is actually an addiction. And no, an addiction isn't normal. You're not born with an addiction. Everyone is born pure and free of everything. Having a high libido is one thing. Feeling like you have to get this, or I don't know, you're having a seizure or something, is called an addiction, and it is not normal. It is sickness. So the first thing is that they're basically conditioned to be addicted, and they're also made to think about it all the time because society is doing everything it can to project sex on their mind all the time, everywhere, all the time. So you have no breaks. And the second thing, my favorite, is that after being told, listen, you think about sex all the time. You always want to have sex. And every time you just feel a little bit like having sex, every time this happens, turn to this person. This person, every time you see someone like that, go toward them. They'll do something about it. They'll do something for you. Okay? Just look for these specific beings right there. Look for them. Every time this thought crosses your mind, just look for them. They will do something for you. What? No one knows what exactly, but just go toward them. Don't even say anything specific, just growl at them, follow them on the street, behave like a kid who peed in their pants and need to be changed. They'll just know what to do. That's my favorite part because that's where the real problem begins, in my opinion, because in this society, being an addict is one thing, but that's your problem. You know, the moment you start making it mine, now I have a problem with you because I have never understood what women were doing in this equation. Okay, same. This is something I go over in my first video that I highly recommend watching, please. But I'm still going to repeat it. Even though you're addicted to sex, I don't understand what women have to do with this. And yes, when you take a moment to think about it, I don't know either. Okay, this is also a conditioning, a programming. Like men have been robotically programmed to naturally turn to women every time they just feel horny. Just naturally turn to women. First of all, this is the only way to consume sex is through sexual intercourse with another person, which is a lie. It is not true. You can have sex every time you just touch yourself because we have sexual organs, which makes us self-sufficient beings. We can have access to sex anytime. So the little BS of I have to enter another person, this is one way to do it. That's one way to do it, but there are many ways you can consume sex, and it doesn't always necessarily involve another person at all. First of all, not necessarily a woman, but society, in this heterosexualized society, it is a man with a woman only. That's the only combination that exists, that is possible. No other combination is possible. If you're a guy and you feel horny because you've been conditioned to always feel that way, turn to this person. They've been conditioned to turn to us immediately, like a kid turn to his mom when it wants something. They've never been told to do things any differently. Robotically, turning to us right away. And that automatic behavior of immediately looking for a woman every time it's feeling itchy, this has been driving me crazy my whole life because I really felt like I was pulled into something against my will. Like I had random strangers energetically, asking for something. Like I feel solicited And I don't even understand why, because I don't know you. I don't understand what you want from me. I can't leave me alone. Yeah, this behavior, this soliciting of having men flying around you, wanting something, not even expressing it clearly, just flying around you like a kid who wants something. It's not telling you exactly what it is, just flying around you, smiling weirdly. And that is an unstable behavior of someone who wants something from you, but they can't even phrase it clearly, because that's another problem too, communication. And oftentimes they just start behaving weirdly, and just like a mother, you really feel solicited to do something. And I think that's why many women start feeling guilty about the way they dress, the way they exist, because they think they are attracting them and they are responsible for meeting their needs, doing something about their needs, like a mother with a child, basically. The problem is that that is not a kid, that is entirely self-sufficient, and that is still making a scene, yeah, like a kid in a supermarket, because it wants something, it's feeling, they can't understand what's happening to them, they can't communicate it, and they've been conditioned to turn to you. That's all. And we are basically left with that, with a lot of beings, basically like the Walking Dead, circling around us 24/7. Honestly, something that really can't accept, that I don't think I'll ever be able to accept as a woman, is this responsibility, slut shaming us and blaming us for the way we choose to exist, the way we dress, all these things. I feel like in this society, there are still a lot of women who subconsciously bear the responsibility of never triggering them. And to me, I won't consider us as evolved until we have reached that stage where we deeply, as a whole, understand that everyone, and so men especially, are entirely responsible for their lives, their desires, their needs, and they cannot impose them to anyone. They can't expect anyone to take care of it. As a civilization, reaching that stage is crucial. Otherwise, we are an underdeveloped species. And honestly, just something that I can't accept as a woman. I cannot accept when people are trying to make me feel guilty because I'm dressed like this or like that. I feel like this is crazy. This lack of responsibility, no matter how you're feeling inside. Because it's okay to feel funny because something is happening in your body. It's okay. I mean, it's a natural reaction if you're having one your problem, but making anything that's happening inside of your body the world's problem to deal with is something that I will never accept. It is crazy to me. We still are at that stage while calling ourselves evolved beings. Some people are even spiritual. I mean, call themselves spiritual and are still stuck at that level of convictions, of beliefs, because it all comes down to that. Every time you feel uncomfortable that a woman is dressed like this or like that, what you're saying is men are species that are naturally addicted to sex, and it's not their fault, and it is our duty to not trigger them. Do you realize you're saying that? Do you realize you're even thinking that? Does that make sense to you? Of course not. There is no such thing as being born with an addiction. Simple, very simple example of that would be people like indigenous people and like people living in tribes in like completely remote places out of society, out of the matrix. People barely dressed. African tribes, indigenous tribes all around the world. And I was watching a documentary the other day about a tribe in Africa where women are bare breasts. Everyone is living peacefully like this. Men are not triggered at all. They're not living no, they are living more than fine. They only have something covering their part. Dressing in indigenous tribe usually is for hygiene reasons and or spiritual reasons, like there's a connection with the object in question that you're wearing to the divine, but it's not because of shame. Shame is human-made, is man-made. You shouldn't show your body, you shouldn't ever let anybody see you. It is a belief that I really do not subscribe to at all. I was born absolutely perfect. We are the only species on earth that dress so much because we feel shame. I'm not saying we should all be naked and go out there like this, but I have a relationship with clothing that is, to me, way healthier than in society because I understand what I am. I don't perceive the body as something shameful, disgusting that should be hidden, especially the female, obviously. I think I will make another video about this whole topic, but this is just one example for you to see these beings are male too in this tribe. I thought that was a biological situation. How are they coexisting with women barely dressed, with their titties out, literally, no one being bothered, no one being excited. It is obviously a construct. It is a construct, an addiction that's been created and injected in men. Another little example, and I think I will wrap it up, but is that of, for example, like doctors, surgeons, they have to operate all the time. They've seen bodies so many times. My gynecologist is a man, and I have never seen someone so blasé about seeing a woman naked. And honestly, this is not something you could say about many men in society, right? And yet, it's a man that I thought was supposed to not be able to see titty or vagina here, and yet they see so many a day. Some people are surgeons, they have to just perform surgery on bodies, okay, female bodies, and still able to do that peacefully. Obviously, you'll tell me that's their job, that's why, okay, that's their job, but I mean, if I'm following, okay, the reasoning of the system we live in, what people say all the time, which is that it is something biological in them, they are born like this, just the sight of parts of our body is something that will have them lose their control. I can believe people are even buying this. Okay, if I follow this reasoning, then please explain to me how a male, working in the medical field is able to spend days seeing women naked and not feeling anything. I have a cousin that is actually a surgeon, and I've never seen a man being so calm and so blasé about the female body. And that's actually super funny because he actually has a super healthy behavior with women because he is deconditioned from this programming because of having seen this so many times and studying this so many times in medical school. It actually deconditions you. Now, everyone is different, maybe not all of them, but what tends to happen is that, I mean, they get blasé at the sight of it. It is just the body, and they are perceiving it from a medical point of view. You just get to the point where you realize, I mean, it's a body, right? It's just a body, it's a human body. Let's move on from this. Let's get over it. And so it has super healthy behavior. Like, it's not triggered at all. When he sees a woman dressed super lightly, it's like not triggered at all. It's not even paying attention. It's like basically a normal person, which is interesting, I find. And another confirmation that it was a programming. And when you are deconditioned, you're just able to perceive people as just beings. So I got a little carried away at the end of the video, but my point was that one of the biggest lies of history of mankind that to me reside in what we've been told about men and manhood and their relationship with all these things, sex, the feminine energy, interaction between the two. I really think it is crucial that we have reached a stage, a peak of evolution of mankind where it is crucial that we start opening our eyes about the lies that are the foundation of our civilization, the foundation of our society, our biggest BS, absurd BS. It is just crucial that we start opening our eyes about this. I really hope this finds you well, whoever you are, and that you will do what's right with this information, like sharing, for example. And I have more to say about this actually, but I think I will just make another video because I want to wrap this up. I think it's best. I want to keep it digestible. Whoever you are, if you watch this, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.